So I lied to you guys. I told you I wasn't going to have a fall garden except for in my green stalks, but that's not completely true. I completely forgot about my hoop house, and I built it last year, and so if I don't plant in it this fall and winter, I won't really get to see what I can grow in here throughout the fall and winter. Yeah? What? Yes, all teas are mine. Ugh. Yes. Now, I have not watered in here at all since everything went downhill, and you can see that there's still a tomato plant in here. There's actually two. I pulled out the other one. There's one down in the 4th bed, and what that tells me is that the roots have went down deep, because underneath, although I have these beds on landscape fabric, the ground kind of slopes going this way, and from this side of the garden that way, or the hoop house, it kind of slopes going towards that way, and this side of the hoop house kind on the outside kind of sits in water when we get heavy drenches of rain. And so that tells me that these roots for tomatoes specifically not only endured the heat. This is a triple crop plant. Not only endured the heat because the shade cloth blew off, but I haven't watered in here. The door was closed. And so that's a plant that I want to definitely plant again next year. It has no fungus disease. The goats ate it down to a nub, and then it grew back again. But that tells me that the roots have gone really, really deep, even deep to enough to still get moisture and still survive the super hot, intense light and drought that I was not giving it water. And obviously when it rains, it can't get down in here. So with that being said, when I came in here and was looking around, I decided that I was going to go and get some plants. So I'm not going to plant any brassicas from seed. I don't think. Let me not say that. I might change my mind. But I did go ahead and pick up 3 6-packs of brassicas. So I got 2 6-packs of broccoli, because we really like broccoli, and then I just got 1 6-pack of this Bonnie hybrid, Bonnie's Best cabbage, and I'm going to plant that inside of this hoop house. And I'm going to plant them all inside this bed. And then in the other beds, I may go ahead and plant some other things just to see. Last year, I built this. I built it in it was still winter, and one day it got down to like 22 or 17 degrees, and I used compost, and so we had some, what's that called? Sunflower sprouts sprouting in here, and they didn't even die with it being on the outside 20-something degrees. And so I may experiment with some stuff in here. I'm definitely leaving that tomato plant in here just to see, our first frost isn't for a month away, just to see how it survives in here, and like how cold is too cold in here, because I don't have a thermometer or anything in here. But once I got my head clear and I finally realized that that this would be my first season with this hoop house, that's when I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and get some plants. I actually went by Tractor Supply to pick up something and saw that they were selling plants, and I was just like, you know what, I could just get some plants instead of starting seeds myself, because I knew I missed that window when I made that video 3 weeks ago. I was just like, I could just pick up some plants and we'll see what happens. It's easier to manage, and this is just such a small space that I figured, why not go with it. And just like that, I have my first garden bed of broccolis and cabbages. That's 18 plants, 12 broccolis, 6 cabbages. I didn't measure. I just put them in this bed with a bag of soil. I did add some worm composting as well. And like I said, I'm leaving that tomato in there. Now I'm going to get the rest of these beds cleaned up and add a bag of soil to the top of each of the rest of these beds in here, and then we'll have a whole garden. It is starting to get dark, so I don't know if I'll have time to plant out the whole all of the beds, but I am going to get them all cleaned out and then add the soil to each bed. Where's my son at when I need him? I'm just joking. He is inside, and he would come help me if I wanted. But it's fine. That bag was really heavy though. This is the bed that had a hole bunch of ants in it. When I planted in the spring, right here at this spot, they're not come crawling out, so I guess they've moved on. But this whole bed was infested with ants. So I really stayed away from this bed. Glad to see that they've left. Let's see. Getting hot now. Is it just me? But there's something, it has to be not just me, but there's something about a fresh bed with fresh soil, a clean slate. It literally just does something to my whole being to see a fresh bed ready to pop all the seeds in. A clean slate. Okay, all 4 beds with new soil, and I'm tired, so I'm gonna have to pick out some seeds to plant this with tomorrow.